Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with some more multiplayer racing. For this, we are using a selection of A-Class Porsches, and I have got the 80s 911 Turbo with a wide body kit and very big tyres. I shall have a lot of grip. I shall not have the straight line speed, I already know that. There's going to be some small, very lightweight classic Porsches in this. They're going to be rocket ships in a straight line. Things like that, for example. Or potentially things like that, the 914. There's the Emory, I think there might even be... Is there a 550 in here? I don't know. No, we haven't got those. We've got a mix, actually, we've got quite a good mix. There's a couple of other turbos in this. I am hoping, I've got very big semi-slick tyres on my car, I'm going to have a mountain of grip. Which is great for half of this track. It's the acceleration more than the top end, really. That's the concern. The small classic cars are going to have that. Now, the modern cars, like the GT3, there's a couple of GT3s, we've got a couple of different ones we've got. I'm not sure how those are going to fare. They're going to have a very, very good chassis, a very good starting point, but they're going to be limited. A-Class is a tough one for the Porsches because you're limited in terms of tyres as to what you can do with those cars. So I don't know what they will have with those vehicles. We will have to wait and see. I'm hoping I'll outturn them. We will find out quickly, though, as we blast through the first corner. So despite the absolutely massive rear tyres I've got on this is surprisingly oversteered. There is an element, of course, of we're on some slightly cold tyres at the moment. So, yes, sure, even though they're like 3-somethings on the back, 325s, 345s, something like that, they're absolutely massive tyres we've got on there. Still cold tyres, the car will slide around. Now, the Emory I am a little bit concerned about. It's the acceleration. At this track, we might not be too bad. I was going to say we're rear engine, but of course almost everything here is. Almost everything is rear engine. So of course rear engine helps with traction. A lot of weight over the rear wheels that are being driven by majority of these cars. There's a 959 in here that will be all-wheel drive. I guess you could... I don't think I had any rules about swapping. I guess you could make the cars all-wheel drive. I don't know why you would in this one particularly. I don't think we would see that, but you never know. But yeah, engine over the back, good for traction in the rear-wheel drive car. Helps you put the power down. But this is a lot more oversteer than I expected from something with such big rear tyres. The back end is just constantly wanting to let go. That is really sketchy. I mean, we're proving to be quick. Like I'm saying my car is sketchy as we lead the field and currently have difficulties getting into the first corner. I really don't trust this car at all. It is making me very nervous. That's for sure. It wants to move around. Oh god, it wants to move around at all times. Did I forget to put rear tyre widths on this? I mean, that would explain some of it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just this car's natural characteristics. I swear I didn't. I swear I was paying attention. It's just really lively for a semi-slick type car. It's not got that much power. It's got a smidge over 400 horsepower, which is not terrible. I mean, it's not going to be enough for some of the bigger tracks, but we are pulling away from the GT3. We're keeping that one at bay nicely there, and we've got, I think there's another one of the turbos in third. I think there's another wide-body turbo sat in third place. So around here, these seemingly seem to be a good choice of car. We will keep the power down all the way through that one. The Emory's fallen back, so I suspect the fear with the classic ones, of course, is they're going to be brutally fast accelerating because they're going to be so light, but they're going to be death traps. They're going to be so difficult to drive that certainly around a track like this, you're going to really struggle to make the lap time. Now, that might not be the case at every track, of course, when we go to the faster circuits, as I said. That is where those sort of cars could shine. But even though I'm not a fan of this car, it's definitely quick here. However, characteristic-wise, it is not to my taste, shall we say. There is a bit of a tussle going on for second place, not that I can really look at it currently, because I've got to try and not visit walls well any harder than that. We'll get away with a little brush along the wall, such as that one. Will we get away with clobbering some curbs? I'm pretty sure I have this on race suspension. I think it's tarmac only event, if you will. So, yeah, I think we did. And I'm not sure what car's up into second anymore. Forgotten who's driving. I think it's one of the GT3s, maybe, running in second. It's the older one now that is up to second. It'll potentially have a little bit more stability than me. Again, turn into the corner, and the back end is desperate, absolutely desperate to swap around on me. With again, I mean, I keep it together. It's not quite it's not like a death trap like I imagine the Emorys and the Classics are in this. Those will be a lot twitchier and a lot more unhappy than this thing is. We are pulling away as smoke's billowing off. That's a little bit of lag, of course. The car's not actually smoking the tyres like that going through the final corner. Second gear, not quite where I wanted it to be at there. I should have left it in third. Mind the bump over there. Last couple of times I've driven this circuit, actually, I've had issues with the bump causing upsetting cars. This is not as bad. I can't remember the last one. I can't remember if I actually made it in the video, to be honest. Whether it was that session that was used. I had a car that was horrific over the bump down there, nigh on undrivable through that section. This car is not that bad, but a lot of cars you don't even notice there's a bump there. But in this one, I'm definitely aware of it. It's not throwing me off course too much, but it's definitely something that I am preparing my car for, essentially. Or preparing myself for, knowing that it's going to get potentially upset. It's not too bad over that curve, for example. It is... I mean, they're all squabbling over second, which is helping me here, but I genuinely don't think anything does have an answer for us here. While I fight the car a little bit, it's a Classic now up to second. At the moment, we'll see the lap time in this. We will slide the back end once more. Not quite all the way through there, but... okay. I mean, it's a strong start. It's a strong start. This turbo, I do not have the best track record with building these in the past. Some duff cars I've built have been, well, these, on previous Forza games, but this time out, that was fast. That was quite a dominating performance in many ways from the turbo. We'll see the fastest lap before I say too much, but it did look... no, the Emory did get slightly quicker in that one, but I suspect it was too difficult to drive to do that sort of thing consistently. We were very much quicker than the rest of the field, though. The top three, with fourth not too far away. Yeah, I don't fully trust the back end of it. I feel like a 26 is definitely doable with mine. I just don't trust the back end of it at all. Why is there a car going the wrong way in the end of race screen? Amazing. Well, we'll see what my turbo can do in the next race. We are off to the festival circuit for our next race. Ooh, we start on pole. That's quite nice for us. I fear if we're going to be found lacking in straight line speed, this is the place, of course. One of the more demanding circuits, if you like, in terms of straight line speed. I suspect the 356 will just blast past us. I don't know if we're going to have much of an answer to it. Otherwise, I mean, I think we might not be too bad. I think some of the other sort of classic cars are just not controllable enough to really have much fun. Well, I'm the biggest controlled car out here, but we shall wait and see. The two turbos are off the line nicely. Here goes the 914. Yeah, if I can not slide the car about through here and try and make the most of the power we do have. Yeah, we're just 428 horsepower I have with this. I checked as we were loading into the race. So, I mean, it's not terrible amounts of power, but it isn't as much as some of the other cars are going to be running in here. Now, I don't have aero on my vehicle. I mean, outside of the wide body kit, which I guess I have maybe a little bit, but I haven't got the Forza aero on the car. Main reason being I don't want the drag. We've seen time and time again, I mean, when I have a grippy car like this, I'm tending not to bother running aero on the vehicle because, look, the Forza aero parts, because the drag it adds is so much. I want a little bit of straight line speed to try and potentially combat the more powerful cars. It's a choice, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This one, I mean, we are a little sketchy in the fast corner. Like if I had a rear wing, for example, I suspect we wouldn't move like that. We wouldn't slide about. But we would also be a lot slower down the straight. So on some tracks we'll be faster, some tracks will be slower, etc. We are going to run a little bit wide out of there. I do seem to have some good straight line speed compared to turbo behind, which makes me wonder. I mean, we could have built these cars differently at the end of the day. We could have gone full slicks. It'd be a brave choice in A-Class. Not, so it certainly can work. I guess, yeah, that would explain the speed differential. I'm surprised the 356 hasn't come blasting through the pack. They could have gone weight reduction, actually. That would also be the other thing. I didn't really bother with weight reduction on this car. Focus on getting a little bit more power to try and keep that straight line speed up with the semi-slicks. So once I put the body kit and the tyres on, didn't have a great amount of PI to play with. So yeah, there was a huge amount could be done. Okay, so we've got 2 turbos leading a couple of classic cars. I'm not quite sure what car in third is. It's some sort of 356, I think, but I can't tell because it's a little bit out of kind of render distance as we will blast into this first corner. I mean, we've been quite lucky with grid spots here. You know, can't complain starting on pole. Makes our life much easier. Rusty's had to climb from the very back of the field. You just lose a lot of time. You lose a lot of time stuck in traffic. Just trying to do simple overtakes can cost you a lot. It doesn't seem like that 356 is that much quicker over a lap. I mean, it might get fastest lap, but I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's quick enough to battle both of those cars and still catch me, unless I completely beans things up, which is always possible. I'm not, you know, the curse of the commentator is always powerful. It can always enact chaos when you least want it or expect it. However, we're going to hope that it doesn't. We're going to try and not slide the car. We're going to try and get the braking points right, get the power down nicely, and all of that sort of thing. I think Car Guy's about to have some company going into this last couple of laps. Don't know, yeah, we're not going to get a turbo 1-2, I don't think, although it is probably nice to drive through the corners, so if it can fire back immediately, I would be happy with that. Let the battle, let them wear each other out, let them fight. Fortunately, it does look like the turbo might have just lost out through all of that. Yeah, it does look like it has, sadly. A little bit of a shame, but that is the way it goes. Unfortunately, when you have the handling car, if you get mugged when you're on the straights, sometimes you can't immediately fire back, and then you kind of lose your opportunity to, potentially. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the lap unfolds, although this is very much a not very much power circuit, but if power cars are going to work, this is one of the places they work at, basically. So yeah, if you are in the handling machine, you are always going to suffer a little bit more, and indeed we are getting caught by the 2 356s. I think one might be something slightly different. I don't know. Whatever they are, 2 classic cars are coming towards us. Not as monstrously fast. I mean, they are clearly faster than me down the straight, but I'm impressed with this turbo straight line speed. It has got a good turn of pace down these straights, because I mean, you can see the car behind having all sorts of handling issues. We know they're going to be horrifically difficult to drive. The trade-off should be brutal straight line speed, but it's just not enough to overcome the turbo here. As we have difficulties with driving a little bit as well, but still, in fact, Rusty's got all sorts of sideways out of turn 1. Actually lost that second place. It's now a different classic. Going to have a go at looking for a way past. Is that? That's not an old. Is that an old? Not as older a classic, that one. That's chasing us down. I'm not actually quite sure what it is. We've got a couple more corners to go. What is that one? Is that the Singer one? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see when we cross the line. Whatever it is, it has got up to second. However, as long as we don't spin out on the final corner, which we don't, and neither of them can really match me for corner speed at all, it'll be across the line, and it'll be another victory for my turbo. Oh, not an easy car to drive, and it's not the fastest. Oh, it's the 73. Okay. Yeah, not going to be fastest lap for me. I know it wasn't going to be. The Emory was very quick, but it was very difficult to drive at that sort of pace. We were consistent enough that we could hold on to that one. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, kind grid spot for sure, but made the most of it, didn't make any mistakes, and we'll take a second victory. We are off to the Playa Azul circuit, a track I don't have a great track record around, to be honest. Not my favourite of circuits here. I don't think it will suit my car. I would not expect it to. Again, like the festival circuit, fairly fast track here. Although, if previous is anything to go by, the 356 will be very tough to drive. Very big braking zone into, I guess, kind of technically turn, what, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish, I guess, but it's all flat out past the start-finish line, or it will at least be in my car, I would expect. Yeah, the first big braking zone is always an interesting challenge, shall we say. Who knows what's going to happen. And off goes through. Bloody hell. Yeah, as expected, that thing shoots off, but you can just see how horrific it is to drive. So yeah, these long straights, we know we're not going to be great here. I'm actually surprised to see the GT3s faster than me down the straights. I thought they might be even worse off on power than I am, although I guess they might be worse off on tyres. That was an unfortunate place for everybody to pop out of ghost mode, really. Yeah, if the Emory stays under control, I think it's going to be uncatchable, maybe. Although I say that, it's not actually that car that's leading, it's the 73 Carrera that has got the lead at the moment. And that might be the best of both worlds. It might be the best of straight line speed with some element of control. It's 3 wide in front of me here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick a way through this at the moment. We are going the long way around here, as the GT3 and the 914 are having trouble. And now we're going to lose out to some more GT3s. We're going to sweep past. Yeah, it's a dive to the inside there, but you'll have no speed on the exit. Ooh, I don't know whether we're going to be able to... We don't have got the straight line speed, although we might not going to go around the outside because that car's moving about all over the place. And this is the problem I've got, is that we could be faster over a lap, but all of our speed comes in the corners, which it's difficult to extract that speed when you're stuck behind slower cars, and it's difficult to pass them, because as soon as you get to a braking zone, they're all out of range, although that might do the job for me there. That'll put us past 1. Now, can we go chasing after cars ahead? That is the big question. Jeez, the back end of my car was absolutely desperate to overtake the front. It's not quite what I was expecting under braking there, if I'm honest. We have had a good run, and we will hopefully get this pass done, and we do move up a position. Now, can we chase down the GT3? Can we chase down anything in front of us? Oh, no, that was too brave. That one was too brave. I had to give it a try. I mean, it was more. It was the hope that my car would stick more than I guess kind of expecting it to there. Oh, bloody golf caddy parked right where I want to put my car. It's a bit of a scruffy lap this one, and we need them to be better if we're going to catch the cars ahead. 959. I think is struggling to carry corner pace, but it's got good traction off the line, of course. Probably have good top speed, I would think, in this field. Might struggle to get to it. It'll take it a while to get to it, but once it gets going, it'll be quick down these straights. So yeah, it's the Carrera versus the Emory up at the front, but that's a long way. That's a long way away from us. I say that, however, cars have missed checkpoints. In fact, we are now onto the podium from some missed checkpoints that have gone on. But I was so confused when I saw the car ahead of me in second. We completely butchered turn 1. But the GT3 and the Emory have both missed checkpoints. So, well, that has slightly changed the complexion of this race. Still not quite got that corner right. God damn it, if I could get this lap right, I'm slightly quicker than the 959. We definitely have got pace on it, but I keep making silly errors. It's here, for example, where I can make a good amount of time. Shame that golf caddy is right where I want to put my bloody car. I always end up doing that at this circuit, and we have gained some more time, but we have just one more lap to go. Can we do anything about getting a second place? We're not winning this race. We're not going to get the whitewash, the perfect run for this, but there's a chance at second if we are good, and if the 959 slips up at all anywhere around here, we definitely are in with a shout, because I mean, you can visibly see how much more speed we're carrying through these corners. We are absolutely flying, and the car ahead is having a... It's not enjoying it as much as we are. The tyres are up to temperature, they're as good as they're going to be on this. It's still slidey and I'm still not 100% comfortable with it. It's bobbling a little bit over the bumps there, which is not great, but the 959 is sliding more. Or it just doesn't have the same grip. I can't tell if there's some understeer going on the way in. There's probably some understeer on the way in. There's a little bit of oversteer on the exit of the corners by the looks of it. Quite a lot of oversteer actually through there. But this final corner is nigh on impossible. Well, not impossible, but it's very difficult to overtake here. My best bet is to hope the 959 runs wide, brushes the wall and is slow on the exit. It looks like it will be. We're going to sneak a second just. Ooh. Yeah, I mean... We were gifted a second, we were gifted a podium. The Emory was clearly faster than... I should say that, actually, we got the lap time down at the end there. Not going to match that Carrera. Far too quick. However, we beat the 356 and we beat the GT3. Once I got the hang of the track and wasn't overdriving the car, we were able to compete with lap time for second. Not for first, that's gone. But, yeah, I'm actually pleased with that lap time. It was a fun race. Bit sketchy, but good fun. We are off next to a less speed-based circuit, hopefully, at least. Kind spot on the grid for us. Yeah, we should. I would expect us to be quite quick here. I mean, there are some longer. There's some longer straights where top speed is nice, but we will have the handling, as we saw at the festival circuit. We're not that horrifically slow in a straight line. Definitely got to be watching out for the Carrera. The Carrera and the Emory are the main ones I'm worried about. I think we have the better of the turbos here. Maybe only slightly, but I think we have slightly better of the turbos. Nothing else can seem to quite match us. The GT3, not too bad in the right set of circumstances. But yeah, we in general seem to have kind of got the measure. It's through here, as you can really see from the 365, 35, whichever way they let the numbers go. Well, I'm not doing very well with the old words and stuff, or numbers apparently. We're pretty useless tonight. We are not doing too badly with the old racing though. That is something that we do seem to have got alright with this turbo, as much as I will continue to say it's not actually quite as planted as I would like. It doesn't really drive like I would want my car to drive. This is the bit where we're going to struggle. This is the bit that sucks for us. The climb up the hill. We're using all of our 428 horsepower, but it is not as much. Well, I mean, we've got less power, and while we're not massively heavy, just a smidge under 3,000 pounds here, we are much heavier than the likes of the Emory and probably the Carrera, I would expect as well, although I don't know how much that weighs. I would presume that'll be lighter than we are, but I think we have got, you can see, so much more composure through these corners. Now, I think, from looking at the tyres, the Carrera... So everyone knew this was an all-tarmac event. I shall point this out, shows the choices were made. I believe the Carrera and Emory are both running rally tyres. You might wonder why on earth would you do that. Well, the rally tyres are still pretty good on tarmac in this game, and they don't eat up anywhere near as much PI as the semi-slicks I have on my car. So you can still get a quite grippy car and have more room for power. It's just, you know, making the choice of how much power are you going for with your vehicle. Do you want to try and cram a load of power in it? If yes, probably going to go for the rally tyres and hope you can hold on. I went for the I want to have a much more composed car option, which isn't doing too badly, although I really wish the back end would just be a little bit more stuck to the road. It's concerning. And let's say that the problem for me, that's a lot of sliding. Scary bit for me is the finish line is after a long straight line speed section, so we've got to really make the most of our handling through the early parts of this lap and be out of range of that classic machine by the time we get to the end of the lap. Because yeah, those rally tyres will still give you a good amount of grip, and I think we are going to be under pressure very soon, looking at how close that car is. Although down here, this is the bit where it really won't like. The Emory is going to really struggle through here, although I struggle a little bit with this car because I just don't trust it quite. We will desperately trying to make as much gap. But actually, we've done well this lap around. That's been a good... I think we've done well. I think we're a bit further than we were last time. And what would really help me is if the Carrera started fighting there. This is... it's what we're wanting to see going on behind us. Carrera fight the Emory, then really slow each other down, let me get away unscathed. It looks like this lap is going to come out about the same sort of distance as we did last time around. Oh, don't slide there, car. Yeah, okay, they're starting fighting. That is perfect for us. Ooh, turned a little too soon there, just a tiny bit too soon, but still don't want to be doing that too much. My gears are a little long. I mean, the long gear ratios can help with wheel spin, although wheel spin's not really a concern with this car. I have got one of the gearbox upgrades in it, and I just forgot to sort out my gears. I mean, we're making do with it. It is kind of working. We're mostly a 3-speed. I don't want to change to 4th because I'm about to go on the brakes down here. And 3rd gear is a very useful gear, it seems, for us. Be neat and tidy all the way through there. Yeah, they just can't match. And that is the power of the semi-slicks. Neither of those two can match us through that twisty section, and we just have to hope that that is enough for us to be out of range by the final corner. But that was a big wobble at a massive, massive correction heading into there. It looks like, though, we are clear. I think they've fought each other too much back there. Oof. There was a moment of panic. There was a moment of panic that very nearly got away from me. That very nearly got away from me. Thankfully, they were too far back. We found a bit of speed at the end. Yeah, I mean, the Carrera a tiny smidge faster, but it was only a couple of tenths. In fact, so what? The GT3 was quick. The GT3 just can't seem to make its way through the traffic early on in the same way. That seems to be where that struggles, but it's definitely got lap time. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very close to me, the Carrera and the GT3. The Emory and the other turbo a little bit further back, still within a second, though. Ooh. It's victory number 3 for quite twitchy turbo. Can't do words good at all today. We head into our final race. Can we get a 4th victory for the turbo? We're at the Estadio circuit. I'm not sure. Well, this is a pretty balanced track, actually. This is the one that if I'm building a car, this is the one I use to test lap times to see if something's going to work, because you've got some twisty sections, you've got some long straights. You need a mixture of both to be quick around here. Either it's going to be great for my car because we're not too bad in a straight line, we're quick in the corners, or we're going to not quite be we're going to be too middle of the road. We're not going to make up enough time on the straights, or not making up enough time in the corners. Or I don't know what really beats us in the turns. Imagine the GT3 might. Well, it's probably going to come down to whether I can trust this car enough in the corners, perhaps more than anything. It will... we are going to have to do this the hard way in as far as we will have to pass the Emory on track. We are buried in the pack, and a bad sort of turn 1 has put us in a little... first little section. Didn't really get my braking right, so yeah, we're going to have to... try and work our way up through here. Oh, well, I mean, I was always trying to back out of that. We had 968, gave us a little bit of a bump. We're going to, I think, sneak our way to the inside down here and get ourselves kind of out of trouble, which is nice. And we will be quick through here. Okay, so we do beat the GT3 in the corners. I think it must shift down the straights there. So we are probably the best handling car here. It's useful to know. Okay, so yeah, they do beat us down the straight. It might be a little difficult for us to make up lap timing, so we're going to have to do the passes the hard way, really. Hoping for... The Emory could always come undone in the chicane. There is always a chance for that. Should have gone to second, perhaps. If I brush the wall, definitely got to go to second. That chicane that is coming at the end of this kind of straight is going to be sketchy in that car. I've driven sketchy cars like that. The chicane is always a tough one to get right. We aren't actually all that comfortable through there either, although if I'm this uncomfortable through there, imagine what the very lightweight, incredibly powerful classic car feels like going through there. The GT3s are having a tussle. Problem I've got is how on earth do I get past them? Because I can catch and catch and catch, and I get a good run, but they're going to be gone by the time we get to the braking zone. Most overtaking happens in the braking zone. Brake later than the car ahead of you. We're going to have to... We can't outbrake. I mean, we'll be braking later, but we can't outbrake like that. So we're going to have to literally drive around the outside or through a sequence of corners manage to fling our car up the inside somewhere, like here, for example. But even if we draw alongside, then we run out of straight line speed. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult one for us. I don't know if I have an answer for that purple GT3, to be honest. It's just vanished up the road now, which is alarming how quickly that's buggered off. This will probably be where we've got to do the pass. Get a good run out of here. Get ready to kind of launch the car up the inside through this bit. If we can, not close enough this time around. Yeah, that's where we're going to have to do it. Because we'll actually get this move completed now, because we're all round the outside. I have the grip to do that, but I think we're going to lose it by the time we get to the first braking zone. It's not technically turn 1, it's more about turn 3, I think, but big braking zone. Might not quite catch me. Might not quite have time to do it, so we might be okay. It's to the outside. They know they're not going to outbrake me on this one, so they were kind of sensible. We realised they weren't ever going to actually be able to outbrake me. They were kind of, I think, hoping more that I was going to make a mistake somewhere and be able to profit from that one, but in the end it couldn't do it. Have got the Carrera catching us as well, so that might be my last lap battle to try and keep my car on the podium as we go through these fast corners. Now, don't make any mistakes. Be as smooth as we can be. Yeah, the Emory is definitely getting caught at the front. We made a nice gap back as they fought in the chicane. We will get ourselves slowed down. I mean, if either of those two make a mistake up ahead, we will be... Well, if they make a big mistake, we'll be there to profit. If they make a little mistake, we are too far back. It's going to be an interesting final lap for them. I think the Carrera is going to pass the GT3 behind into turn... into this braking zone. I think that Carrera's got too much straight line speed. So that is not an easy... Let's say not an easy pass. There's not... I mean, outside of the Emory, there's not actually too ridiculous differences. I mean, there are cars faster, but they aren't crazy differences in straight line speed. No, the GT3 has held on for the moment. Might hold on for the rest of the lap if it doesn't make any mistakes around here. The Emory might also just hold on at the front. It's very close. We have found ourselves very much in no man's land in this one. We're interested to see the fastest laps. I don't think we're quite as quick as the top two, but again, I think we're quite close. GT3's having a look to the inside up there, and it might... Oh, it couldn't quite do it. So it might get it if it gets it right through here, but it really had to do it on the way in to this section, because it's no good drawing alongside on the exit, because the Emory will just outdrag you. Oh, good effort up there. Battle at the front was it was a good fun watch. Shame I wasn't closer to really witness it. Shame I didn't quite have the speed perhaps to fight in that one. We all crossed the line in third. I think we'll probably be about half a second, three quarters of a second off the fastest lap of the top cars. We were quicker than the Emory. Interesting. The GT3 gets fastest lap of the race, and yeah, I can't match that. We were competitive, definitely. I am actually pretty damn happy with that car, I've got to say. I am very... Oh, the Carrera disconnected from that one. That was also monstrously fast, but they had a disconnection before the end of the race. Yeah, we'll get another podium in this one. I mean, it's 3 wins, a second and a third for the Turbo. That's a strong car. It's lively is the way I'm going to describe it. Sure, we'll go with that. The back end moves around more than I'd like it to, and I don't fully trust it at all times, but I have got to say, bloody fast. When things go well, it is a very quick car. And we use it to good effect in this one. But there we go. That is going to be it for this video. If you would like to sign up to take part in the next series of these races, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus the Community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.